Snowy back with another Medieval Dynasty video. This one is, it's a bit of a critique. I like the game. There's a lot going on here that's fantastic, and I am completely aware that the game is in development. Having said that, there's a couple areas that the devs really need to take a look at, as far as I'm pretty sure you're punishing your players for playing this game. So, first one, all of the work buildings, the barns, the storage units, almost everything in the game can be upgraded. And it's a really nice feature. Here we've got a level 1 woodshed. And I'm going to upgrade this to a level 2 woodshed. And the way you do that is basically you just drop it right on top of the existing woodshed. And that's basically all of it. You're done. That's the whole process right there. It's incredibly easy. Now, I'm highlighting something that's awesome. Really, really love the way this feature works. So I can show you its nightmare polar opposite. So, everybody starts with these simple small house, right? It's normal. It's usually the first building you build. Now, one of the drawbacks I'm about to show you, because it's right here, is this. Maybe at the start of the game, you build small, simple houses with wattle walls and thatch roofs. But very, very quickly, you're done with this. These buildings are terrible. They break all the time as far as you have to keep repairing them. So it's not worth the trouble. It's much better to upgrade them to stone right away. So remember, upgrading this, I just chose the next level and I placed it on top of the existing foundation and frame, right? So I basically had to rebuild the walls and the new roof. To upgrade the most common building in the game to stone, I don't choose an upgraded version. I look at the door, I choose stone. I look at the roof, I look at the wall, I look at the other wall. I mean, now this part, I like being able to customize it. It's great. Being able to change things. Oh, it's fantastic. Except, why do I have to? Why is it mandatory for me to change every single one of these every single time I go to build one? This is insanity. Like, this is absolutely mind-boggling. And I don't have it in this particular save, but if you have Builder's Trance, this is really frustrating, because Builder's Trance is this, it also punishes you. Well, I mean, I can show you Builder's Trance. Alright, so Builder's Trance, for those of you who don't know, and that's me speeding up the gameplay. So level 1, you build a little faster. Level 2, you build faster still. Level 3, you build faster still. The problem is you have to go through all 3 stages to get to level 3, and then it lasts like 30 seconds or something before it disappears. So you build your foundation, you build your frame. Now you got to go through the whole freaking house, alter the layout of 14 different pieces of it, and by the time you're done, you're probably out of Builder's Trance. So, this is really frustrating, having to mod these. So basically, what I'm suggesting is buildings, right? So extraction, there's my level 1 that I've got built. I just choose level 2, I build level 2. Or you could just build level 2, right? So basically, what needs to happen here is buildings, houses. Now, when you click simple small house, the left, this shouldn't change much at all, right? It should be 3 images of a simple small house. The one you're currently highlighting, this one, should be stone with a wood tile roof. Wood with a wood roof, wattle with a thatch roof. There's no reason for massively excessive mice clicks and mouse or keyboard movements and all that. It's a little bit over the top, because here you're stuck with the default bottom level, and it takes a million steps, or I think I did the math on this. Every 10 houses, you have 420 different mouse clicks and keyboard clicks that you have to navigate through. 420. to make 10 of these. Whereas, yeah, nothing else in the game is quite like that. Except, so Builder's Trance, again, I kind of mentioned, I don't care for this, the way it works, because you're punishing someone, the higher level they have, the more you punish them. Because it takes, you have to work through level 0 to level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to get the benefits of level 3. Level 3 is deep in the skill tree. Why are we going for something that's at the highest tier of the skill tree? Why are you punishing people for that? Just start with level 3. It doesn't, it's weirdly backwards. Kind of like what I'm about to show you, which is genuinely, seriously, this is absolute punishment. I picked up this lovely thing called Trap Master. And in order to use Trap Master, I would just like to point out, this is, so I move, so that's one click. I press Q, I click, I wiggle, I click, I wiggle, I click. I click if I don't have to wiggle. Then I have to, again, let me check. So I'm going to start from a neutral, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different keyboard interactions, 7 if you count that I have to keep shifting position to place one trap. And notice nobody is placing traps that doesn't also want them armed. Why is this an extra step? This extra step was actually added to make this skill even worse. I mean, talk about punishment. Now, what if you want all these traps, right? So it's we're back to this. Way too many key presses to, this is ostensibly a skill you wanted to get, right? You're supposed to be being rewarded here. This is supposed to be a reward. This reminds me of a Chinese version of Limbo where you are in this infinite or seemingly infinite flat plane with an empty pot in front of you, and it's a really big pot, and you have a pair of chopsticks, and the ground on this infinite plane is covered with a single layer of rice. And this limbo thing that you're trying to go through to get your karma straightened out is that you'd have to pick up each grain of rice one at a time with the chopsticks and fill the pot. And then when the pot's full, it just sort of magically empties back out into this massive flat plane where you start over again. And you do this thousands of times over who knows how many hundreds of thousands of years to straighten out your karma. Yeah, it's what this actually seems like. This is some form of hell. Fix this. It relates to these lanterns as well. I rarely am only placing one, probably with the torches. With the traps, I don't know, man. Pull these up and press escape to take rat traps off of your... I mean, Huber, why can't I just go click, 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 click? Why does it got to be 17 clicks each? It's crazy intense. Next up is a bit lesser, but it relates to the menu system in this game. So Albert here was a hunter. So let's back this up. So I want to put this guy with the 5 hunting skill in the hunting lodge. So I double click. I double click. I find the hunting lodge. I double click. I double click. I double click. I'm not sure why there's that many steps. Now let's follow this again. Albrecht is, so double click. He works in the tavern, right? Double click. There's literally only one job in the tavern, and it's innkeeper. Why didn't he already get assigned? Why do I have to double click again and again to assign him the only job in the tavern? Now, part of me understands this because Albert, I'm going to remove him from the barn. So, double click. The barn has 2 jobs. So, there is at least an argument for the barn having one more step, but this is it's bad menu management. It's not like it's game breaking. This one's really much more. This is a little pickier, I guess. But the barn, for instance, I have a screen here. Now I have a sign worker to the barn. Now, maybe, I mean, given that I was just on a player and I'm kind of thinking about putting someplace, you might or might not argue that this one needs to be here, but this one doesn't, because this one and the next one are the same thing. This should just be on this page. I want to assign this person as a farmer or a barn worker. Should be right up here at the top, as a matter of fact. This should be right here. Assign this, assign that. You shouldn't need this extra steps. If you want to see gorgeous menu management, play a game called Dwarf Fortress. The menus in this game are, I mean, it's a bit of a horror show when you don't know the game, because it's, and this is not an exaggeration, literally the most complicated game in the history of mankind. So the menu system is deep and elaborate, but really well done. And most games suffer in comparison, but that's not the point. The point is there's just extra clicks here that don't serve a single purpose. And even in the barn, where there is a potential for an extra purpose, it's overdone. You still don't need that many steps. You can get rid of a few of these. But like I said, this one's much more fine-tuned. I think the last part, which is my personal horror show, is right in here. So I'm a little bit curious why he appears to store everything in his butt. What? That's terrifying.